Welcome guys to our Way On Forex channel. It's your host Ike the Greatest, and I'm gonna be bringing you market forecast. Let's just quickly jump right into it. We'll start with DXY. We'll just do a top-down analysis. So we'll start with the monthly time frame real quick. We are clearly on an uptrend, creating high highs and high lows, and this was the most recent low that the market created before breaking this high, right? So we have a low, a high, and this is pretty much a pullback. So we just want to know if price is just going to pull back and continue breaking highs, or this will be the end of this uptrend for price to, just start creating lower lows and lower highs, right? So this will be our demand zone. Also, I just want to use the fib to see if this is exactly where price will get to before just reversing. So if you look at my fib, something I spoke about in our previous videos, I use 0.79, 0.71 levels. And we can clearly see prices in that zone, 0.71, 0.79 fib zone, right? So I want to go down lower time frame, see what price is doing there, all right? And weekly, yes, price was just shooting to the downside impulsively, pullback impulsive, but getting to that zone, we have a very corrective structure, right? We have price just correcting towards the zone. And this is very beautiful to see because this is a pattern in the market that when seen on a downtrend, it indicates that market is going to reverse. This is a falling wedge pattern, right? So yeah, we'll quickly just go down the daily time frame as well. Yes, we are still creating lower lows and lower highs. No doubt, we are still on a downtrend, but approaching that level, we are just getting signs that price will just reverse, but clearly we are just, creating lower lows. There's a lower low, lower high, break of structure, near lower low, lower high, break of structure. So currently we are just in a pullback where price could still, continue creating lower lows and lower highs. All right. So as it stands, we are still looking for selling opportunities because yes, we are still on a downtrend, but we just want to know what the market is doing from the higher time frame so that when we get on lower time frame, we just don't get caught up in, what the market is doing there. So let me just quickly pull the RSI and see if they correlate. So here we have price creating low. We have a low, but with the RSI, we have a higher low, and then a higher low, right? So price is just going down right here. And then at this level, we have price going up. This is divergence indicating that price is likely to reverse in this zone. But we need confirmations. We need market structure to align with this thing that we just saw. This is just a first confirmation. We need market structure to align with it. We need break of structures to the upside and everything before we even dive into it, all right? So I'm going to take this off. So we're just going to treat this course as a downtrend because we are in a downtrend. We want to see what the market is going to do for the week. So yes, we have the pullback at this zone, also in a key level, right? There's a fib zone that I spoke about. So we have a pullback in that fib zone. Let's go to the 4H, look at the structure as well. Right, so you can clearly see that when price tapped in that fib zone, we had a reaction, right? Price failed to break above that fib zone, and then currently we have price just creating lower lows and lower highs. So currently, all right, we have this impulsive break of this trend line, and also let me properly draw the trend line. Trend lines, these are just guides. It doesn't really mean anything. Trend line is just guiding us on what the market structure is doing. What we have to really focus on is the market structure, the higher highs and the higher lows and all of that, all right? So we have price, we have a break of structure. Currently, we are on a downtrend because we have this, change of character. It's a break, pullback, and this is also a pattern in the market. And when seen on a downtrend, it indicates a continuation, right? We have this impulse, we have a nice correction, there's a pullback. So we have a very high probability of the market just continuing trading to the downside, right? This is the DXY for you. So we're going to see the same thing pretty much on EURUSD, GBP USD, and other, dollar related pairs. Right here on EURUSD, on the daily time frame, it's pretty much the same, right? We are clearly on an uptrend, higher high, higher low, break of structure, new higher high, higher low, and then a break of structure. This is the pullback. With what I'm saying here, we have even a very nice corrective structure. With a fib, we are also in an area of value with this fib zone, right? There is a very high probability or possibility of price also just continuing with the trend, right? When the market is up, we don't want to force price to to get down, right? If the market is going up, we also want to trade with the trend. If it's going down, we want to go down with it. We only trade against the trend when we see signs that, okay, this is going to reverse. Until then, we just want to flow with the trend. So if there's the daily time frame and we are up, we also want to just follow the trend, right? So with this time frame, yes, this is what I'm seeing. Let's go down. The 4H, we have a break of this trend line, break of structures somewhere here, and then price has, just pulled back a little bit, tapped on that trend line. So we could see a move also towards the upside, right? Let's go to 1H. Pretty much what I saw on the DXY, this is just opposite. So we have a very strong impulsive move to the upside. Then we are having a corrective phase, that is a pullback. And as it stands, we have a breakout as well. This is not a financial advice, but this could be a trade that can pretty much just move to the upside like that, Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing on DXY as well. EURUSD as well, very powerful. Gold on the weekly time frame, very, very choppy, as you know. Price is just consolidating in this zone, nothing much. On the daily, pretty much the same, very, 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 very corrective, all right? But there is one interesting thing I'm seeing here on the daily. Right here at this level, we're just creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Then we had a very strong supply zone right here. This caused price to change character right here, right? So we had a change of character at this level. Okay, so let me just quickly draw the supply zone. We have the supply zone at this level. Change of character, we have a pullback. This pullback, we are also pulling back into our fib zone. There's a 0.79, 0.71 zone right here, right? So gold is very tricky. We could just be going upside. We could be going to the downside, but I'm just going to explore both ways. So with the selling opportunities is what I'm seeing. Where we are right now, gold could form something like that. First touch right here, second touch, third touch at this level. And then we could probably see gold just dropping. And this will only happen if we get confirmations at this level, right? Until then, we're still going to go down lower time frame and trade with the trend. But this is what is happening on the higher time frame, that is on the daily time frame. So let's go down on the 4H. Yes, with the internal structures, we are creating higher highs and higher lows. There's a higher high, higher low, break of structure, higher high, high low, break of structure, new higher high, right? So we are just flowing with the trend to the upside. But we just want to know, we understand what the market is doing when it comes to the, higher time frames, right? So at this level, are we going to start looking for selling opportunities here? No. The market is still up. We are still creating higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame. We're only going to be looking for selling opportunities when we get at least a shift to the downside, maybe a break of this high and then a break of this low to, shift character, something like that, or a double top, or a head and shoulder pattern, anything that will cause a reversal here. That is when we will be looking for selling opportunities to at least trade this to the next maybe demand zone and the next and the next, all right? But until then, we are still looking for buying opportunities. I mean, gold has been good. Yesterday, there were a couple of trades that we took. We missed some, but we took some as well, right? So if you look at this, it was a very simple setup. Impulse, correction, break of structure, impulse, price just pulled back with a bullish flag, breakouts to the upside like that. Price, the market repeats itself, right? All you gotta do is to position yourself in a way where you can actually understand the nature of the market. So this is a very nice impulse correction phase. We had an impulse correction, and then we have an impulse. So currently price is correcting, but if you look at what is happening right here, we had a double top, right? So with this impulse, we had a first top, second top, and then a breakout structure. So yes, this is pulling back on the lower time frame. So if you're going to continue trading to the upside, you just want to wait for this correction phase to be done, wait for a proper change of structure, and then pretty much just flow with the direction of the market, right? But until then, we're just going to be very patient, right? We are still correcting right after an impulse. You don't want to be looking for a trade. You just want to allow the market to cool down a little bit before you start looking for a trade. So cooling down means waiting for the pullback to finish, right? Go on the lower time frames, wait for proper change of character, wait for proper break of structures towards the same direction, and then you get an entry, all right? So this is what is happening on gold at the moment. And then looking to my left, I can also correlate that with this supply zone and this resistance level as well. Just pulling it back, very strong resistance level, right? So resistance, strong resistance here, the resistance. That's exactly where we are right now. We broke above, we are currently below. So is this level actually going to just push all the way to the downside? I cannot really tell, but for now, this is what I'm seeing. So just have to be very patient. If you're going to continue trading to the upside, the lower time frame will tell us. Until then, we will just allow the market to just do whatever it's doing, and then we will see how we take this going forward. All right. So with GBP USD, with the weekly time frame, we have pulled back to a supply zone as well. This is a very strong zone that caused price to drop all the way from here to the downside, right? And that is exactly where we are right now. Adding my trend lines, we have the first touch of the second touch. We are around the third touch zone, right? With the third touch, first, second, third touch of the trend line, something else I've spoken about on this channel. You can go back and watch what this means. But at the third touch is where we just want to observe whether we're going to get price to reverse or we're going to get price to continue, whatever. But that is where we are right now. So at the third touch plus this supply zone, we want to see exactly what the market is printing at that zone, right? So here, we were clearly on an uptrend, creating higher highs, high low, break of structure, high high, high low, higher high, high low, new break of structure, right? Higher high, high low, new break of structure. Whenever we get a pullback, it isn't a deep pullback. What I mean by that is, you see when price is creating higher highs, then we pull back like that. This pullback, we can have a medium pullback, the low pullback, medium pullback, or a deep pullback like that before the continuation, right? Because until price breaks the low right here, until we break this low, this is still an uptrend. So we could have this pullback, that pullback, or even a very deep pullback. Whenever we get a deep pullback, this could be a sign, of the sellers just jumping right into it. Because if we have a low pullback, for example, like that, if we do have a low pullback like that and then a continuation, this isn't a sign of sellers showing, that they want to dominate. This is just a small power of the sellers, and then buyers just took over. But if we do have a very strong pullback like that, comparing this pullback to this indicates that we do have sellers coming in the market, right? So if you look at the trend, we haven't had any deep pullback like that. This is higher high, high low, a new higher high. Look at where price pulled back to this level. If you take a look at this pullback as well, it wasn't really a deep pullback. We just had a medium pullback and a break of structure. So this is the next low, right? But if you look at the current pullback, we didn't just pull back right here to continue. We pulled back all the way to the previous low. This could be a sign that the sellers are coming in the market, right? So here, of course, we are still on an uptrend, but we also want to be very, very careful with what price is going to do, because this could be a place where, the market could reverse. This is how head and shoulders are being formed. So for example, left shoulder head, this could be a right shoulder, and then a break of structure to the downside for selling opportunities, right? When this happens, the only time we're looking for selling opportunities is when we break below this low, right? But until then, we're still going to be focusing on the trade to the upside. This is still pretty much on an uptrend. The only time I want to be looking for selling opportunities is break up this low right here, maybe retest, and then a possible move to the downside, all right? So guys, it is what it is. This is all for today. Make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because you're going to get this kind of content that will help you to grow in your trading career, all right? It's Ike the Greatest here. See you next one. Peace.